everybody. Welcome to Bedtime Stories. I'm Miss Elizabeth. And we are going to start off with our bedtime song, which is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And we do three signs with that. Oh, three signs. And we do point our fingers for stars. You do that? Good job. All right. And we do our W hands. And we say world, just like that. Kind of swoop around. Good job. All right. And we also are going to say sky. So isn't that nice? Sky. Okay, let's put all that together, okay? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Good job. All right, so for my first book I have for you today, we have Goodnight, Goodnight construction site. Just like that. And it's a Sherry Dusker-Rinker book and Tom Lichtenheld book, and Chronicle books. Okay, so Goodnight, Goodnight construction site. There's even the moon's sleeping. Look at that. Oh. Down in the big construction site, the tough trucks work with all their might to build a building, make a road, to get the job done, load by load. The sun has set, the work is done. It's time for trucks to end their fun. Soon, one by one, they'll go to bed, to yawn, and rest their sleepy heads. Then wake up to another day of rough and tough construction play. Working hard to help his team, Crane Truck raises one last beam. Reaching, stretching, lifting high, he swings the beam into the sky. He'll set it down right on its mark, then off to bed. It's almost dark. He slowly folds his boom back in, then with one last sleepy grin, he tucks himself in nice and tight. Oh. Then cuddles up and says good night. Shh, good night, Crane Truck, good night. Spinning, churning all day long, cement mixer sings his whirly song. Now, yawn, he's weary and so dizzy from the fun that keeps him busy. With one last spin, he pours the load. He's ready now to leave the road. He takes a bath, gets shiny bright, pulls up his chute, turns off his light. He cuts his engine, slows his drum, and dreams sweet dreams of twirly fun. Shh, good night, cement mixer, good night. Dump truck loves to work and haul. He carries loads both big and small. He moves the dirt from place to place, then dumps it with a happy face. One final load spills on the heap. Crunch! Now dump truck's tired and wants to sleep. He lowers his bed, locks his gate, rests his wheels. It's getting late. He dims his lights, then shuts his doors as soon as his engine slows to a snore. Shh! Good night, dump truck. Good night. Pushing with his mighty blade, bulldozer works to smooth the grade. He clears the way to level ground and fills the air with thunderous sound. Roar! one's as tough and as strong as he, but now he's sleepy as can be. He puffs some smoke out of his stack, turns off his engine, and stops his track. He curls into his soft dirt bed and dreams of busy days ahead. Good night, bulldozer. Good night. Scooping gravel, dirt, and sand, excavator shapes the land. He digs and lifts throughout the day. Arg, but now it's time to end his play. A few more holes to dig, and soon he'll roll to bed beneath the moon. Yawn. He twirls upon his bumpy track, pulls up his boom, and stretches his back. He sets his scoop down on the ground and snuggles up without a sound. Good night, excavator, good night. These big, big trucks, so tough and loud, they work so hard, so rough and proud. Tomorrow is another day, another chance to work and play. Turn off your engines, stop your tracks, relax your wheels, your stacks and backs. No more huffing and puffing, team, it's time to rest your heads and dream. Construction site all tucked in tight. The day is done, turn off the light. Great work today. Shh. Now, good night. The end. Even machines go to sleep at night, don't they? Yeah. You see my Eeyore slippers today? Do you like to wear your slippers too? They're so comfy, cozy. Okay, I got another book for you, and then we'll say goodnight, okay? All right, so this one says, It's Time to Say Goodnight. It's by Harriet Ziefert, and it's by illustrated by Baru. All right, so it's time to say goodnight. Oh, it's a Blue Apple Press book, too. All right, there he is in the window right there. Good morning to the sun. Good morning to the hills. Good morning to the chickies and the hen. Good morning to the rooster. Good morning to the cow. Good morning to the piggies in their pen. Good morning to the grass. Good morning to the trees. Good morning to the birdies and the bees. Good morning to the garden. Good morning to the earth. Good morning to the water and the seeds. Good morning to the planes. Good morning to the buses. Good morning to the taxis and the vans. Good morning to the trucks. Good morning to the cars. Good morning to the garbage and their cans. Good morning to everything in sight. By the time I get through saying good morning, it's time to say good night. Good night to the trucks. Good night to the cars. Good night to the garbage and the cans. Good night to the planes. Good night to the buses. Good night to the taxis and the vans. Good night to the grass. Good night to the trees. Good night to the birdies and the bees. Good night to the garden. Good night to the earth. Good night to the water and the seeds. Good night to the rooster. Good night to the cow. Good night to the piggies in their pens. Good night to the sun. Good night to the hills. Good night to the chickies and their hen. Good night, good night. I don't want to hear a peep. Good night. Good night. It's time to get some sleep. Good night. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed those. So, good night, and I hope your dreams are as sweet as you are. Bye-bye.